This spot might as well be the symbol of Sedona, Arizona. And today, I'm showing you how to hike the trail to the top, where to find the Vortex up there, and also where to see some of its best views in this guide to Sedona's Cathedral Rock. Easily spotted all over Sedona, it's not surprising that Cathedral Rock is kind of the unofficial symbol of this Red Rock city. Seriously, you see it on everything here. And I don't mean that in a bad way. It's an amazing sight. So to kick things off, I'm showing you how to reach the top by way of one of Sedona's most popular trails. And if hiking isn't really your thing, stick around to the end, where I'm taking you to some of the best viewpoints of Cathedral Rock that don't require a 750-foot elevation change. Yes, the trail up Cathedral Rock may only be 1.2 miles round trip, but it's pretty much straight up, including a lot of slick rock, and one slightly technical scramble. This trail actually does feature a bit of climbing, but don't let that scare you. The real measure of difficulty with hiking this one is actually getting there. More specifically, getting a spot in the parking lots. Found here on Back O Beyond Road, there's actually two parking lots for Cathedral Rock, a main one and an overflow. While decently sized, they do both fill up very quickly. There's also no street parking nearby. In fact, if you're coming in from Sedona's main strip, you'll probably see this sign flashing just before the turnoff for Back O Beyond Road. Mondays through Wednesdays, this isn't necessarily true. The lots are open. But local residents, fed up with illegal street parking, sharking and causing backups into the parking lots, and hikers apparently just being a general nuisance, have had the city crack down on parking for this hike. If you do park on the street outside of the lots, expect a ticket and maybe a tow from the city of Sedona. So you've got a couple of options. The first is to arrive early in the morning, which gives you a better chance of snagging a parking spot. If you get here after around 8 a.m. during the busy seasons especially, chances are slim that you'll find a spot in either lot. Thursdays through Sundays during the week, the parking lots are actually closed, and the only way to access the trailhead is by using the free Sedona Shuttle. Leave your vehicle at one of the park and ride lots and take the shuttle in. I've left a link in the description below with the shuttle schedule and the park and ride lot locations. Ooh, wow, a lot of hoops to jump through just for a 1.2 mile long hike. And of course, there's one more. If you park here, you'll need to display an America the Beautiful annual pass on your dash or purchase and display a Red Rock pass from the kiosk found at the trailhead. Enough rules and regulations. Let's start this hike. This hike isn't really that long, but it's pretty much all uphill. Expect to do just a little bit of climbing. I don't mean scaling rock walls or anything, but be prepared to use your hands quite a bit to haul yourself up. The trail starts from the parking lot and crosses a wash before gradually inclining. It doesn't take long, and you finally reach the slick rock and get a pretty good idea of just how high up you're going to be going. You should also be able to spot some hikers who are close to the top. So head on up. Hiking boots with good grip are a must on this one, as is water and sunscreen. This hike is pretty much completely exposed to the elements the entire way. While there's plenty of big cairns marking the route, there's a few spots that can get just a little bit confusing. Keep an eye out for these markers painted on the rock and keep heading upwards. In no time at all, you'll find yourself at the dreaded scrambling section. I'm just kidding. It's really not as bad as it looks. It's essentially just one giant crack in the rock that requires navigating. Collect your courage and get this one started. This spot can turn into a little bit of a traffic jam if you're doing it during a busy time. Once you reach the top, you're rewarded with just a little bit of shade, courtesy of a few trees off to the right. It's not a bad place for a break, and you can look down on all of the tiny people and realize just how high you've hiked already. Once you're ready to keep moving, well, continue on. The trail is actually level for just a little bit, before heading upwards again. Once you reach these stairs built into the rock, the climbing portion of this hike is pretty much over, unless you plan on visiting the Vortex site at the top. Keep trekking up these steps and switchbacks, and eventually, or maybe finally, you'll emerge at this sign signaling the end of the trail. You've made it to the top of Cathedral Rock. Well, not the very top, I guess, but as high as this trail goes. But still, what a view you get from up here. Off to the right from this point is the semi-famous photo spot, where those without a fear of heights can walk over to the cliff's edge for a look. Some even sit on the edge and dangle their feet over. But who would really be foolish enough to do that? So once you've had your fill of the views, you can beg your knees for forgiveness and start the journey back down. Or head just a little bit further up to the Vortex location. Vortices and Sedona. Chances are, if you've researched or visited Sedona, you've heard of these before. The internet loosely defines a Sedona vortex as, quote, swirling centers of energy that are conducive to healing, meditation, and self-exploration. I'll let you decide for yourself if that's true or not. But Sedona has a handful of vortex sites found in places like Boynton Canyon, Bell Rock, and of course, Cathedral Rock, just to name a few. So to find that last one, head to the left from the trail's end sign and make your way around the cliffside, where eventually you'll find this hill. I hope you weren't sick of scrambling. Head upwards until you pop out at this spot. Congratulations, you've made it. The Cathedral Rock Vortex site. It's another great place to take a break, with shade and at least a little bit more solitude than down below. The red rock spires found up here are super cool too. So, you've hiked to the top of Cathedral Rock and are looking for some of those classic views. Make your way to the western end of the city, where you'll find Red Rock Loop Road. Our destination from here is the Crescent Moon Ranch, home of some of Cathedral Rock's most famous photo locations. Before we get there, there's a number of pull-offs with great views of Cathedral too, including this one marked here, known as Lover's Knoll. Pull off the road, park your car carefully, and take the short walk to the top for this classic view. Many engagement and wedding photos have been taken here, and it's also a great spot to catch sunset. But the main attraction is just up ahead, so continue on to the entrance gate for Crescent Moon Ranch. Despite being managed by the Forest Service, this is a site that actually does not accept annual or normal Red Rock passes, so you'll have to pay the $12 entrance fee to get in. But once inside, you'll find ample parking, real bathrooms, and a number of shaded picnic tables. What about those views? The first I recommend is actually near the lower part of the park, following the sidewalk down to this spot along the stream, where you'll find this classic reflection view of Cathedral Rock. If it's not too windy, of course. Next up is the main meadow near the upper parking lot. You get an awesome view of Cathedral Rock from here, framed perfectly by the trees, and with the picturesque ranch building in front. This is a great spot for sunset, as the sun's last light fades on Cathedral Rock. There's actually a network of trails through the park past this point. One follows the stream through the woods, where you'll actually find a great swimming spot too. A little bit further ahead from this is an area of slick rock, and another great photo location. And if you go just a little further back, you'll probably have the park and these views of Cathedral Rock all to yourself.